Have you recently purchased a new or used vehicle? Or perhaps you are researching for a new or used vehicle, but you're wondering how to set up and use all the technology that we find in a driver's information system and the infotainment screen. If so, you're at the right place. Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today I'm going to show you how to do just that. But before I do, take a moment to give us a like and hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get started.
Today, we're working with our friends at Morrie's Ultra Luxury Auto, selling Bentley, Maserati, and Aston Martin vehicles.
Welcome to our how-to video on the Aston Martin DBX. So we're going to start with the driver's information screen, and then we'll move over to the infotainment screen. So to begin with, this is a 12.3-inch screen. And is fully digital. What you see right now, of course, is a digital speedometer on the left, which is like a normal speedometer. It moves to the left. And then the tach on the other side is backwards, so it moves to the right. Now, in the circle of each gauge, there's some information that displays, and we'll talk about that. You have a digital fuel gauge on the left. You have a digital engine temperature on the right. And then in the middle is a bunch of things that you can change. And then up top on the left, you have where it says GT. That's your drive modes. And then over on the far right is your gear selector. And then, of course, your cruise control and lane keeping system and so forth. That's all right there. You'll do notice that there's right next to the GT, there's a little number there, just turned yellow. That's your ride height. And down below at the far left, you've got an outside temperature, and then on the far right, you've got the clock. So to control the driver's information screen, we're going to use these buttons here. There's a right and a left, an up and a down, a push for OK, quick push for back, and a longer push for home. That's what we use to control it. So when I click home right here, you're going to get what you see, what you're already seeing up. You get trip, navigation, phone, assistance, service. So I'm going to go up here, and we're going to start with trip. So to access it, you just press the OK button, and then you'll notice a little orange dot on the right. That means there's a couple of other screens. So we've got total miles, must be total miles driven. And then you got your range that's left, what's your miles per gallon, and then you have an average from start that shows up below that in orange. And then in this screen, you get how many miles you've gone, how long it's taken you. So we haven't gone very far in an hour and 44 minutes, but that's what it displays. You get your current miles per gallon and your average speed. All right, coming down one more screen here. You, again, this is like the overall, like from the last time it was reset. And then you're back to the top screen. So I'm going to press the back button right here, and that's trip. I'm going to go down to navigation. I'm going to push OK. So under previous destinations, I'll just press OK. There's no entries, but if I had the car, I had programmed in things, those places would show up. Okay, so I'm going to hit the back button again. Okay, now the interesting thing here is if I push the right button, do you notice the right gauge lights up? Okay, not only does it light up, but there's a little orange dot. That means I've got 4 screens. So now I can go in here, I can just have DBX. I can have the same information we saw earlier in the middle, but now it's in this screen. You got navigation, and then we're back to DBX. So there are 3 screens. I think I said 4, but there are 3. So you can take the information out from between the gauges and put it in the right gauge. All right. So if that would mean if I went back here and I said, well, I'm going to go home, so I'm going to give a little longer push, and I am going to go to, say, phone. All right, so I don't have a phone connected, but I could have my phone showing up in here, and then I go right, and I'd have all my other trip information right here, and my navigation if I wanted it to. So it allows you to have sort of 2 different screens. All right, so now I'm going to go back to home, and we're going to go down to assistance. I'm going to click OK. All right, this is your driver's assistant. So this would be your adaptive cruise control, your lane keeping assist, those kinds of things. So if I turn lane keeping assist on, you notice that the little lines that come on the far right and far left. It also gives you a distance of how far someone is ahead of you. I love it that they have an Aston Martin DBX in the screen. So if I use my gap setting controls, you can see right here. And I love it they put another Aston Martin on top. It's one Aston Martin on top of another. Okay, let's go back over here to the right side. We'll go back here. We'll go down to service. Click OK. This is where you'd see any messages from the car. You know, if you need something changed or worked on. You can go into tires here. The tire pressure will be displayed when you're driving. You can go in here and click OK on service. It says you'll need service C in 111 days. Engine oil level, click there. You can see what that is. Okay. And that's what you have in that particular screen. So I'm going to hit the back button again. And there you go. So the other thing that this is kind of fun to watch, but you've got your different modes. So I'm now in GT, and if I press the mode button, I can go up to terrain. So the gauges change a little bit. And if I go up again, there we go, and I'll go up. See, that was terrain plus. Okay, so now I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go down to, this was GT, and I'm going to go down to individual. Okay, now individual, you can do some customization, and we'll show you how to do that in the infotainment screen. Okay, I'm going to go down one more. This is sport. See, it turns a little bit red. And if I go to sport plus, then we get even a little more aggressive red. So the dashboard changes colors a little bit depending on which mode that you're in. So that is just way cool. Okay, next we're going to move over to the infotainment screen. All right, the infotainment screen is a 10.25 inch screen. It is not a touch screen. It is a TFT screen, and you do have two controllers that you can control it with. You have this controller on top and this controller on bottom. And if you're thinking that looks familiar, you'd be correct. It comes out of Mercedes-Benz. So the sound system itself is a 14-speaker, 800-watt premium Aston Martin sound system. It has wired Apple CarPlay. It has AM and FM radio, HD radio. It has Sirius XM, and of course Bluetooth. Now, the screen that you're looking at here, of course, is split screen, and I'll get back in a minute to tell you how to change that, and so you can alter what shows up there. So to start with, let's take a look at these two controllers. I am primarily going to be using this one because I think it just will be easier for you to see rather than my trying to use this one. But this one works the same way this one does. All right, and you've got a back button here, you've got a home button here, same thing here, back button, and you've got a home button, and then this is a trackpad. This rotary dial twists, of course, and you can toggle it left or you can toggle it right, and then you can also push to click OK. All right, so I'm going to use this one though instead. All right, so I'm just going to go home. And the way this works is you just have some basic icons from navigation, radio, media, phone, vehicle. We've got one more, system. Okay, and we're going to take a walk through these and see some of the basic features in each one. So to start with, we've got navigation. So I'm just going to click on here to get to it. Brings up a very nice screen. Okay, now I can use this to do things like pinch and zoom. You can see the pinch and zoom on the screen. All right. All right. If I go over to the right, I get some menus. So this is where I can enter a destination, look at other destinations, voice guidance, waypoints, and information. Waypoints are things that you want to mark on your map, like gas stations, that kind of stuff. Route and position, and then options. You could go in here and you could enter a destination. However, I am just going to see what happens when I use voice command, because that is the easiest way. So here we go. Pressing the voice command button on the steering wheel. Navigate to McDonald's. Currently, I have the volume turned down, so I don't.
Line number.
Oh, there it goes. 3.
Meek Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa. Accepted. Starting route guidance. The route includes toll roads. Please proceed to the highlighted route.
All right. So there you go. That is the easiest way to plot a course. You can go through and do it manually, but I guarantee you doing it by voice command is the easiest way. Okay, so once I start a route, the question is how do you cancel if you need to? Well, you just swipe to the right, and I hit cancel route. All right. So, and then you can look at other destinations once you've added a few. You can turn voice guidance on or off right there. You can look at waypoints and info right here, like search for destination. Let's go back. Route and position. Okay, you want to say avoid options. Like for instance, the one we programmed took us through toll roads. So you could say use toll roads off. So that way it will never plot a route on a toll road for you. But these are all things that you can go in. You want to avoid highways, just click there. All right, it's kind of a one-time thing, but you just go right through this and set up all the things you want to avoid. All right, I'm going to go back one. Okay, route settings. Do you want to have the most economical route, the fastest route, the shortest route, automatic traffic jam avoidance? Ask in the event of a traffic jam avoidance. So a lot of options to go through there when you're setting up your navigation. Your compass, it just displays for you. That's all it does. There's nothing you can change or alter on there, but you can take a look at that. In case you're not, maybe you're off-road, you just want to find out where you are. You can do that. Use that. All right. Let's see. Now, let me go back again here. All right, options. Last one here. So you have map menu, content, announcements, text information, auto zoom, and show you how much reserve fuel you have, and intelligent destination decisions. So, for instance, a couple of useful ones would be auto zoom. If you turn that on, and you have a course plotted, when you come to a turn, the map zooms in and shows you a much bigger picture of where your turn is. And then when you leave that turn and continue on, and it knows it's going to be away, so you turn next, it zooms back out again. All right, so anyways, but that's how you plot a course in your navigation. That's how you cancel it. That's where you go and set up some basic one-time setup types of information. All right, I'm gonna hit the back button again here. Actually, I'm gonna hit the home button, and we're gonna go over to radio. Now, this system divides media into radio and media. So radio is going to be your AM, your FM, and your Sirius XM. And then media is going to be anything else. Bluetooth, USB connection, whatever it is, and Apple CarPlay. So here we are. And the way this works is, you see on the screen what's playing. So if I go here, I can go, this is Sirius XM. I can look at Sirius XM channels just by clicking. Okay? And I can go ahead and I can just click, and it's going to change. Okay? If I want to look at the presets, I can look right here. And there I go. So it's always over to the right here. Radio source. Okay, here you got HD radio, you got for FM, for AM, and then of course Sirius XM. So now earlier, if you watched the full review, I'd mentioned this has a what's called DAB or DAB, but they must have adjusted something. DAB does not work in the United States, so they must have, at least to the best of my understanding, so they must have done something for market adjustment, but it does have HD radio, which we use in the United States here. All right. I want to change the sounds. You can click right there. equalizer, balance and fader, automatic volume adjustments, sound profiles, dynamic range control, and other sound settings. So many ways that you can go in. We'll just look at one of them. So you just simple up and down, change, scroll over to get next one, and then when you're ready to be done, click the back button. And it works the same for pretty much all of these. This is just a click on or off. Automatic volume adjustment is going to make the sound a little bit louder as you're driving faster and a little bit softer as you're driving slower. All right, let's move out of this. I'm going to go back again. And I want to go back to radio source command, because what is good to know is that pretty much no matter what radio you're in, all these options on the right are pretty much the same. So once you can operate one of them, you'll be able to operate all of them. And you will see here in a minute, I'm going to go back one more. Source, here we go. I'll go to FM. And you can see again, the display is a little different, but all the menus on the right here are the same. So let's quickly look under options for a minute. If you want to display radio text information or have the HD radio on or off. All right. So I'm just going to go backwards here. And that's AM and FM and Sirius XM. So now I'm going to go to the home button. And I will come back to that split screen. But it's down the road here in a minute. So I'll go to media. All right, there's no device to control. So media sources would include Bluetooth, any memory card that was inserted to the SD card, and then another two devices. So you could have technically up to, well, you could have 3 devices connected, 1 by Bluetooth, and you could have 2 by USB. Okay, let's go back. Now, sound, you can go to, you do have the option to go to full screen there, which is interesting. That wasn't on the radio. Okay, but it pretty much looks the same. All right, as AM and FM and Sirius XM. Let's go back a minute. And I'm going to go to home. And we'll go to phone. Now, I don't have a phone paired. Okay, but if I turn my phone on quick, it's not a hard thing to do. So I'm going to go into my settings. And I'm going to go to Bluetooth. Now you'll connect a new device. Start search on system. So it's looking. I have my phone's on. Bluetooth is turned on. Nathan's phone. It's found it. I'm going to click. Okay. Is the number the same? Yep, it is. So I'm going to hit pair. It's paired. Well, it told me it was unsuccessful on my phone. Let's see what happens. Okay. It says it's there. Okay, so now if I go back here to home and I go to media, okay, and I go over here and I go to media sources, now my phone is going to show up as one of them. Okay, and there it's searching my phone for Bluetooth, and there it's going to connect. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like when your phone's connected. All right, so under phone itself, okay, now I can enter numbers here. I can get a numerical keypad. There's no contacts available because I didn't let it. I didn't want it to take my contacts. If this were your car, you, of course, would want them to do that. All right, let me go over here to the right. See, now I can look at contacts, recent calls, text message. If there was an active call, that would show up right there. Devices, and then under options, okay, then I can look at, like, where my contacts are, who my provider is, and so forth. I do like it that when they put a device list here, and then you can kind of decide who's you're going to be using. So if you're traveling with someone, you can easily switch between the phones. All right, I'm going to press the home button. 2 more to go. Vehicle. Let's click on this. First of all, you got climate control. Now, most of all your buttons are right down in here anyways. But if you want to have it in the screen, there is a menu button on the climate control you can click, or you can just come up here and click on climate control. This is where your sync button is. So to sync all the climates, you just click there. Okay. Turn AC on or off, you can click there. You can go to climate mode. I like all the little graphics that show up. You can have focus, medium, or diffuse. And you can't see it maybe very on camera, but the graphics are changing ever so slightly. I hit the back button. If I go to rear, I can turn it to auto so it matches the front. I can adjust their airflow by going up and down. Or, hit the back button again, I can adjust their temperature. Hit the back button again. Hit the back button one more time. Okay, that's climate control. So now I'm going to go over to the right again. I'm going to go down to drive modes. Click. This is where I can configure my individual drive mode. So I'm going to click there. You can adjust suspension, steering, drive, and exhaust. So I'm not going to change anything, but you know, I'll just kind of walk through it quick, and you can kind of see what the options are there. So basically, it'll be one, two, or three things that you can click on and choose from. All right. I'm going to go back to the right here a minute. Notification for user. You can have engine data. Oh, that's a nice screen. Look at that. This is a neat dashboard right here. So it's very different than what's in front of you. So you've got battery voltage, you've got horsepower, you've got pound-foot of torque, and then you have got oil temperature. Okay, I'm gonna hit back. The other thing I can select to view is vehicle data. So now, as I drive it, it'll show me just different things. Like for instance, there's my ride height. Over there, it shows me my gas pedal and my brake. So, pretty neat graphic. All right, I'm gonna go over one more to the right again. We'll go down to assistance. Now these are your safety systems. So you have ESP right here. You can have that on or off. We'll go back. Traffic sign assist. You can have that on, so it'll display the sign or the screen. And you can have a visual, an audible, visual, or no speed limit warning. Okay? And you can change the warning threshold. For instance, you can say, I don't want to be warned until I am 3 miles an hour over the speed limit. Okay, let's go back and we'll go to camera and parking. So maneuvering assist can be turned on or off here. Just by clicking, you've got warning tones, warning pitch, warn early, audio fade out during warning tone, so that if your radio or something is on, it kind of fades out. If I click on this one, I can just adjust. You can hear that hopefully. So you can adjust that volume there for those things. All right, I'm gonna go back. All right, you can open the camera cover right here. All right, we're gonna go back. You got lane keep assist right here. So you can have it set to sensitive, standard, or lane, and then have lane departure warning on or off as well. Check mark means it's on. Right, hit the back button. Blind spot assist. Quick check, simple check mark on or off. All right, I'm gonna go back to the right here a minute. Consumption. Right here, you get a graphic view of your consumption. I'm gonna hit the back button again. It would look a lot better if you were driving while you saw it, okay? Light settings, I'm gonna click here. Ambient light, this vehicle does have ambient light. You can't see it in today's light here, but it shows you on the screen where it shows up in the doors, okay? And then of course you can change the color over here. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over here and I can just rotate and change the color. And then over here I can change how much the brightness is in the rear and the front separately. Okay, then you can also have what's called a courtesy light that comes on if you want. All right, hit the back button. Locator lighting, when you hit the key fob buttons, it lights up just so you know where you can see where the car is. Exterior light switch, you can click here, and when you get out of the car, the lights stay on for X number of seconds before they turn off. The idea is you get enough time to go to your door, unlock the door, and get in, and have a little bit of light. You can set that anywhere from 60 seconds to off. Same thing with the interior light switch. Okay, you come in and you open the doors, the light's on. How long do you want it on? Or not on at all. You can just turn it off. All right, I'm gonna go back one more to the right. Vehicle settings. All right, so under vehicle settings here, you can do like winter tire limits. So you can say, I want 150 mile an hour, 140, 130, 120, all the way down to 100. So I'm gonna hit the back button here. And tow away protection, you can turn that on or off. Interior motion sensor, so you can turn that on or off there. Acoustic lock, it's just a click on or off. Automatic mirror folding, so when you turn the car off, get out, close the doors, the mirrors automatically fold for you. Automatic door lock, you walk away from the car, got the key fob in your pocket, and it will automatically lock for you. Easy entry exit, it is a great feature. So you can choose between having steering wheel and seat assist, or just steering wheel only, or off. All right, let's go back one, and we gotta go back another one. And okay, so that brings us to the end of that menu right there. So let's click the back, actually let's click the home button. Let's go over to system. Last one, display and designs. Now you remember in the media screen we had the radio here, and then I had navigation. Well, this is where you change that screen. So if I go in here into displays, I go additional display area, and then I can set it to be dynamic, navigation, consumption, or time and date. So I'm going to change it to time and date this time. Okay, and I'm just going to go home, and I'm going to go to media, and I'm going to select, well, it could be pretty much anything in media, but here we go. There's my clock and date and time. All right, I'm going to press the home button again, go to systems, which is where we were, and then we'll come down to input. This is where you can decide how sensitive you want this trackpad to be. Do you want to use a touchpad? Do you want to use a touchpad tap? Or do you want haptic operating feedback? And haptic means you touch something that shouldn't move, and it does. So if I touch this and click, I get a little buzz that lets me know I actually clicked. So that's what that is. You can access audio again here. Now this gives you a little more specifics for navigation and traffic. So here you can adjust the voice guidance volume, audio fade out during voice guidance so the radio's a little quieter, voice guidance during a call. If you don't want that, you know, it assumes when you're on the phone, you don't want to be interrupted, but maybe you do. You don't want to miss your exit. All right, you can get system feedback for your phone here. You can have call volume and ring volume, and you can adjust those both right there. And then park assist. Do you want a warning tone volume, a warning tone pitch? Do you want to be warned early or not? And then, of course, again, that audio fade out. All right, I'm going to hit the back button. And we'll hit the back button again. Here's where you can set the time and date. Let's see, let's go down. There's a few more options here. You could set the time manually, and you can set the format. I'm going to go back, and you can change the language. You can look at units. You can have miles per hour, kilometers per hour. So all I have to do here is just go here, I swipe to the left, then I can click on kilometers, or I can click on miles. Hit the back button again. You've got personalization, and this is where you can add people. You can have a guest profile. You can create a couple profiles on your own, where everything kind of adjusts to your key fob. And that's where you start. You go down and create profile and get started. Software update if you want. System backup if you want. Pin protection, so you can enter a special pin so no one else can get in there. And reset. Okay. And that puts us all the way through the infotainment system. Now, there's a couple other things I'll point out. Number one, you see the little favorites at the bottom? Okay, if I just go down on the trackpad, and then I get some shortcuts like this, right? So I can look at consumption. We saw that graph before. I can go to the ambient colors right there. I can turn towing on and off. I can turn the interior motion sensors on or off. I can turn voice guidance on or off. I can show waypoints here. I can go right to sound. I can shuffle the current track. I can do a random mix for the current media that's playing. I can play similar tracks. I can turn the display off. and then I can have new favorites. That is it for the infotainment screen. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.